Welcome back, everybody. I always feel so awkward when I'm doing this, when somebody else is with me.
Yeah.
Babe, it really does.
Okay.
Because I don't want you judging me if I do something. I feel like in your mind, you're like, okay, that was cringy.
You're exactly right. Yeah.
I'm exactly right. You're supposed to be like, no, babe, that's not what.
No, babe, that's not what it is.
Okay. All right. Anyway, welcome back, guys. Thank you all for joining us today. I'm Chanel.
Right.
And if you guys are watching this, this is just a recording of our podcast, Sincerely Dismissed. He does not like that name. So
Sincerely dismissed.
until he comes up with a new one, I don't want to hear it. All right. But anywho, we're just kind of doing a part two. If you were here last time, we talked about some vulnerable things within our marriage that we've dealt with, as far as like sex, as far as like needing attention and different things of that. If you didn't watch it, go back and watch it. And also don't forget to like, comment.
This you might not want to do this honestly because I'm just coughing.
We'll work through it real quick. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe because it helps out the channel. All right. So first, we're just going to start with our icebreaker. That's what I like to call it. I kind of got the idea from Josh and Sav. If you ever watch them, I love them. So the icebreaker today is going to be your top 5 favorite movies.
Sorry, I keep coughing, y'all. I got something in my throat. I don't know what it is.
You want me to get you some water? No? Okay.
This is going to be a lot, dude. I love you.
We were just talking. It wasn't even that bad. As soon as you get up.
I'm ready.
Okay, go ahead.
What are we doing?
Top 5 favorite movies.
Top 5 favorite movies. My favorite movie of all time. I'm not a person that has like favorite stuff. I watch stuff. I eat stuff. That's it. But probably my favorite. I do have a favorite movie, and I would say it's Life with Eddie Murphy, Martin Lawrence. Everybody knows Life. I really like. What else?
Just be quiet.
Love basketball.
Okay, yes, that's 2.
Love basketball. I'm not a sappy person. Okay.
That's
I
sad.
love basketball.
Yeah, tell them what type of music you listen to.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Let's see. I like. I don't rewatch movies, so if I rewatch a movie, it's because I really like it.
Okay.
And I probably only rewatch Life and
Love and Basketball.
Love and Basketball.
Okay, but even something you haven't rewatched, but something that was really good.
Step Brothers was funny. Most of Will Ferrell's stuff. I mean, can't go wrong.
Talladega Nights.
Yeah. And what's his other one? Anchorman.
Okay, there you go. That's 5.
Yeah, 5? Oh, well, there you go.
That's 5. Okay, top 5 favorite movies?
Anything on Lifetime.
And y'all don't watch a lot of movies anymore just because it's too much for me.
Oh, I forgot one. So scratch that. You stop talking. I'm going to talk.
Oh, excuse me.
No, I'm just playing. What's the Christian movie?
Oh, yes. Case for Christ.
The Case for Christ. That's got to be top. Something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I'm going, I feel like I'm kind of going to go old school with this, like pre-saved.
Let me guess. Paw Patrol.
No. When I was younger, I used to watch The Mess Out of Temptations. The Temptations movie. That was my favorite. Titanic. Yeah, I'm going real old school. Juice.
Never.
You didn't watch Juice? Okay. Yeah, I shouldn't have been watching Juice either. Paid in Full.
Never seen
We're finding out who's really black.
Who's
here.
urban? I'm not urban. You're urban.
Your black card is about to be rejected right now. Right now. It's like no. And then. Oh, I really love this movie. You know what, man? Now I'm gonna have to change something. Okay, I was thinking Man on Fire. I really love that movie with Denzel. And he did another one, John Q. I really loved that movie when I was younger. So yeah, that was 6, but I'm sorry. I gave way more than I was supposed to. But yeah, so guys, this time we just wanted to talk about what we were doing to help with those, areas in our marriage. We just kind of wanted to give y'all something that you could actually take away and maybe even implement with you and your spouse. So yes, let's get into it. Okay, so I'm probably gonna, if Ray can get through it, because he's got the cold and all that. So one thing that we're doing that I really love that he implemented, because I had been wanting to just get back to studying together. When we first got married, we used to like read the Bible together and study and go through the Word together. And I'm not gonna front, like in the beginning of our marriage, those times were hard. I think like when we first got married, I kind of felt and I'm being really transparent, like I knew it all or something, and I don't know it all. But like when he would say stuff, I'd be like, I don't know what my problem was, but I feel like I've grown a lot more. It's better now, but yeah. So we started doing that again, and I'm gonna kind of let him explain like why he came up with what made him come up with the idea. I'm pretty sure it was probably the leading of the Lord, but like kind of what he wanted to get out of it, and then I'll share my little tidbit.
Yeah, I just felt that God had us to study a specific way. So, I mean, for most men, God's telling them things to do for the family, and it's probably a lot of things, and you just implement them when you believe it's the right time. That's a man thing, but the exact organization of it, I believe it came from God, and I thought it would help us because I thought it was perfect because it's kind of how we think and how we study. So the way that God allowed us to do it was great. Prior to us studying on a certain date, I'll say, "Hey, babe, let's study Ezekiel chapter 36, verses 1 through 8." So what we'll do is she'll read commentary, I'll read commentary regarding that specific event or verse and chapter, and then we'll come together and we'll write each verse and what it means to us. So we'll just go verse by verse. Verse number 1, I believe this verse is talking about this, and then she'll write the same thing, and then we'll kind of just piggyback on each other. And doing that has really helped me see how she thinks, which was a big part of why I believe God wanted us to study that way, is for me to really understand kind of how she thinks and what she reads. And then it also allows her to hear how I think and how I see it as well. So that's one way that we study, and that really has helped us to be able to be better communicators. It helped us to be able to figure out how each other thinks, and it gives us insight on commentary and stuff like that. So.
And two, I would say like there may be times too where you two are perceiving a scripture differently, but just try not to get frustrated. Look, I'm serious. I'm talking to myself too. Because again, yes, everybody thinks differently, and sometimes we don't always get it right, and that's okay. I mean, I feel like that's the beauty of learning. That's the beauty of growing. And it's like nothing you can't pray about and ask God to help the individual with. You know what I'm saying? I think what stood out to me the most was because there's not only are we studying together, right, and breaking down the word, and I feel like that's important because it's getting your mind on the Lord, and it's just strengthening you spiritually. And because I was battling with certain thoughts and different things like that, us studying together outside of me doing a study on my own, he may see something in the word that I don't see, which can also help me in turn. And then two, he also implemented a part where we write to each other throughout the week. And I feel like that was so helpful because a lot of times I want to talk about stuff like right away. I'm like, because this is bothering me. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need to talk about it right now. But really, I'm starting to see the beauty in waiting to talk about things. It's like I'm able to get it off my chest, even though he's not hearing it right at that moment. I'm able to get it off my chest by writing it down. And then two, I feel like a lot of people be like, well, you need to talk face to face. And I do believe that's important. But I like writing things down because I'm able to really go through all my thoughts, go through what I'm feeling, and take my time as opposed to trying to tell him in the heat of the moment. I'm not good on my toes. Like, it's probably going to come off wrong. I'm not going to have the right tone. You know what I'm saying? So when I can slow down and write it on the paper, I feel like he can better digest where I'm coming from a little bit. And then later on, if we'll talk about it as well. But it's also giving that time to just for you guys, for the emotions to settle. You know what I'm saying? Because when you're in the heat of the moment, those emotions are high and you're just like, look, at each other's necks, ready to just fight. And that's not what we want. So I really love the whole writing piece. And then even too, babe, I'm just seeing you, I feel like, open up more through the writing, more with your feelings. And that's something I've been wanting for a long time, even though I know that's not an easy thing for you. But do you feel like writing it down makes it easier for you to be vulnerable?
Definitely. Because just saying something sometimes just makes you feel like just a man, just in general, kind of feel weird. So writing it down is definitely easier for me. And it just makes you a better writer, makes you a better storyteller the more you do it. So, and a communicator.
Yeah. And two, I feel like, you know what? I feel like it's kind of sweet. It's like a sweet, I don't know, intimate thing to do. And I was even thinking if later down the road, whenever the Lord decides to take us home, but if our children saw that, you know what I'm saying, how beautiful it would be for them to see, this is how our mom and dad work through their issues. This is something I probably could use or implement. You know what I'm saying? But just really being able to see the beauty, actual evidence. But just really being able to see actual evidence of that, of us working through our marriage. Because we could sit and tell them, stories and stuff like that. But I think sometimes just having something tangible, if that makes sense. One thing that's been helping me as well, I feel like with our marriage and stuff, is just wise counsel. You could talk to your pastor, of course, or if you have, and communicate this with your spouse, because some spouses don't feel comfortable with you talking to other people. You know what I'm saying? Or getting wise counsel. But maybe if it's somebody you feel you both can trust, or maybe you both can go talk to at the same time, I feel like that would be helpful. But for me, I know sometimes speaking to other people can be awkward because you just don't want people to know your business.
What's funny?
We're trying to hold back that cough.
Trying to hold back too many of them. And it's starting to hurt my neck.
All right, y'all. Ray had to take a little break because he was coughing a lot. I know sometimes in seeking out, who you can confide in and things like that, it can feel awkward because, your marriage is a vulnerable space, and you want to be mindful of who you're sharing it with. So one thing I've done is I found, biblical based like podcasts that I could listen to from other couples, in their marriage. And I felt like that was really, really helpful. Even some of the stuff I said, and, in the last video, if you saw it when I was talking about the sex piece and stuff like that, some of the advice was through the podcast that I listened to. So there's great people out there to listen to that are giving their advice, from their marriage, from different things that they've gone through. And now you can't take everything, of course, but there's just little tidbits in there that I feel like the Lord would lay on my heart, and I'd be like, okay, yeah, I can use that. I can implement that, to help me. And I feel like it's important, especially when you're struggling with a specific thing, to be learning more on how you can navigate that situation, and being intentional, being mindful during that process. Oh, so this is more so something I liked to implement. So, and some people may think this is weird, but I feel like it was keeping me accountable. I like to mark off the days we were intimate to keep myself accountable, but also if he comes, because he likes to come and tell me that it's been like
3 years. You ain't touched me in 3 years.
Too, when he goes back and look at it, if he wants to,
I'll be like, yeah.
He can look at it and see and be like, okay, it's really not as long, as I thought it was, or whatever. But yeah. And I was gonna say, this was just a random thought. Two, I would say be realistic about y'all's life. When it comes to sex too. If you're like super duper busy like all the time, then you're probably not gonna have a whole lot of time, to be getting in. I'm not saying don't go without doing it. Find ways to prioritize it, to squeeze it in. I mean, it's not like it lasts like an hour long. You know what I'm saying? But okay. Don't do that. I feel like you could take 10 minutes, 20 minutes out your day to schedule it in. And another thing too, look, if y'all got kids, Jesus,
lock them in the closet.
Whew, I know it's hard to navigate around the kids. Let me tell you, this will be something funny for y'all. You gotta be really creative. Yes, you gotta be really smart if you're going to do it while your children are home, okay? Put that baby down for nap, or, in his little bouncer or something. Turn a show on, that ain't got no crazy commercials. They don't show commercials at all. Something is good. You ain't got to worry about it. We tried to, we were locking the doors, because we had, I remember speaking to another couple. He was like, yeah, you need to make sure that, like, y'all's doors are locked. You know what I'm saying? You don't want them to come in and see you because it could traumatize them, blah, blah, blah. We were doing that, but let me tell you, your kids will try to outsmart you. And sometimes they will outsmart you. Mm-hmm. We put the keys, we had them in the drawer. That was dumb because they knew where the keys were. So they was trying to come and unlock.
We put the keys up top. We got Spider Woman be climbing the door.
Bruh.
Pains.
Always keep.
Get the key in the.
Yeah, now she climbs the siding of the.
Hey.
Bruh.
How do you?
Bruh. Hide your keys.
And your wife.
Protect your.
Sanity.
Yes, protect your sanity. Protect their sanity. Above all else, just keep the blanket on. Just in case. This is getting really personal, but I'm trying to help somebody, okay? I'm trying to save somebody's a baby's mind from seeing their parents in the wrong way. and don't get me wrong, I think children should see you intimate in different ways, like giving each other a kiss, holding each other. They should see things like that because it teaches them, the beauty of marriage and how it should look, and stuff like that, showing each other affection. Like, they should know how to do that. You know what I'm saying? You don't want them to go into their marriage and for it to feel like an awkward thing. We don't want sex to feel like an awkward thing either, but they don't need to see us commencing in the sex. All right. Okay. Talk to them about it. Let them know the truth about it, the goodness about it. You know, that it's a good thing in the confines of marriage, but your kids don't want to see that.
Well, let me ask you this. Since you know our children, you know some of them are slightly mature. What age do you think you'll tell each child, like right now? So Hannah's 7.
Mm-hmm.
She's pretty mature. She asks a lot of questions.
But see,
what age do you think you'll talk to her?
This is a very good question, because
I'm thinking
I was listening
23.
to something our church did when they were talking about the children and stuff and how to train them up in this world, and she was just saying, you know, you want to be the first to tell your children about whatever it is, about sex, about LGBTQ, about whatever it is. You want to be the first to get to your children before somebody else does, because if you don't, they could be getting misinformation, and once that seed is planted, it can make it hard for you to unplant it. So if you get to them first and plant the seed first, they can already be like, oh, I already know about that. You know, my mom already told me about that. I already know the truth about that. Like, you know, and then people, they won't be so easily persuaded, you know what I'm saying, or told the wrong things about things. And this is something I have thought about, because she was saying you got to figure out when that age is. And that's true, because I feel like every child is different maturity wise, right? And like he said, our oldest is getting more mature. Some of the girls at her school, because they're in other activities outside of school and they're around people who, you know, aren't of the faith, they talk about having little boyfriends. They're 7 years old. You don't need no boyfriend? So I'm thinking I probably will tell her, like, within the next year or two, to be honest. Just the way our world is set up, I feel like I need to get to her first. I need to tell her. But the only thing is, like, you know, I'm very open with my kids about breastfeeding, about all the different, you know, different stuff, even stuff about their body. The only thing I worry about, my kids are very vocal. They like to talk about stuff. So they go to school and be like, yeah, my mommy is breastfeeding. Like, you know, and to some people that's cringy, that's weird, but I want my kids to grow up feeling comfortable about these things. Breastfeeding is something natural. I don't want them to feel like, oh, ew. No, it's natural. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I probably would tell her in the next year or two, just as an educational thing, you know, like, this is, no, I'm not doing, I don't think I'm going to get graphics just yet. I probably will get more graphics when she gets older, but just letting her know this is how the baby's made. That's, you know, I don't know, maybe I should, no, I mean, not like say, see that when you think about it, it's like, and you know, I feel awkward about it, probably because something in my past, you know what I'm saying? But I have to get past it because, like I said, I don't want her to feel awkward about it. I want her to go in her marriage when she gets older, if she gets married. And I want her to feel at peace about that. You know, I don't want her to feel like this is a disgusting thing or a nasty or dirty thing. You know what I'm saying? Because I think, you know, if I'm being honest, those things from my past do come in my mind sometimes, and I have to be like, no, you know, reminding myself, like, this is something beautiful. It's not that, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm married. How do you feel about it? Because I know, you know, men with their daughters, they're a lot different.
When she get about 25, 26.
See. No, realistically. Babe.
25,
to help her,
I mean, she's very intelligent now. I mean, I would say a couple years.
I think at least
9,
like
10.
10. Yeah.
Yeah, around that.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
People grow up. quickly within a year span. So, I mean, by the time she's 8, she could be, you know, people talk, say crazy things, especially at her school.
Oh.
She's, at a pretty good Christian school. But there's always, people that are going to be.
Because even the stuff with the whole, the curse word thing I told you. So, it's, yeah.
Yeah. We're getting to that age, y'all. Just pray for us.
Yeah, please. I think, too, something, and this can be adjusted, but something that may help is maybe talking with your spouse about realistically, like, when it comes to sex, like, how many days out the week do you see? Because I feel like understanding what your spouse is feeling, what their idea of how it should be is important. Like, how many times?
Once a day.
So, see, he's saying once a day. You know what I'm saying?
Twice a day.
See? As busy as you are, twice a day?
I'm breaking it.
You be going all day. Boy, some days. But yeah, talk with them about it. Ask, like, and I would say do this early on in marriage. Okay,
you got to do it early on in marriage, because if you have an expectation, if you believe once a day is what you believe, and then you're not doing once a day, you're gonna feel rejected.
Yeah,
it's got to be expressed very early.
Yeah,
because then you're gonna go. It's gonna be a year in, and you're doing it 3 times a month, and you're like, man, you feel you're gonna start thinking about other women. Probably you're gonna for the man, you're gonna start thinking about just things negatively in your marriage. Yeah. So you gotta express it, and then just go from there.
Yeah, I think that's true. And I think on both parties, because like one may feel rejected and the other may feel overwhelmed. Like y'all, and you also too, in all things, you need to be prayerful about why you feel the way you feel. Is how I'm feeling correct? Is it am I being too unrealistic? Whatever. Ask yourself those questions too as well. And all that you're feeling. I think it's important to ask yourself questions on why you feel the way you feel, and does this have to be the way, you know what I'm saying? And like, am I like this even if the person's sick, even if they're on their period, even if like I don't care. Like, I mean, like really, really try your heart too. I think that's important. Try your heart, look at it, ask the Lord to search it, and then like you said, go from there. But yeah, definitely talk about it. You need to talk about it in the beginning, what the person's expectation, and not just about sex, everything. How your children will be raised, what your expectations are about gender roles and things like that. Some people, but might be real stringent on what they believe gender roles are and all those different things. Yeah. Talk about it all, and ask yourself too, are you willing, like if something comes up, are you willing to pivot? Are you willing to be, okay, well, we can split some of these things up. We can work on this. You know what I'm saying? Are you flexible in any of that, or is it a non-negotiable, like for you? It's important to know. So y'all
maybe we can do it, or maybe our next video will be for like newly weds, or like
that's good.
Newly pre-wed, and then we can say, these are some questions you should ask. Not that we're counselors.
No, and definitely please don't take this as us being counselors, but just if you want something that may help, you can use what you think helps, and whatever you think is not helpful, then leave it there. Table it, whatever, however you want to do it. But yeah, y'all, I hope y'all enjoyed this episode. If you guys have any ideas, about what you want us to talk about next, please comment below. We want to hear from you guys. And again, if you're not subscribed, we ask that you subscribe, because it just helps the channel. If you like this video, then smash that like button. It only takes a couple seconds, and that just lets us know that you guys are really enjoying the content, and that we can keep going in this vein. So we appreciate y'all, and y'all be blessed. Bye.